Hey everybody, and good morning, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yeah, here we are, starting year 2. I wouldn't have thought it. It's 52 videos already down. That's number 53. That means we're starting our second year. Yes! And I couldn't have done it without you guys. I really appreciate your support and you guys hanging in there and watching and subscribing. And I really appreciate it when you hit the old like button and when you hit the old subscribe button, and hell, even the brand new join button down below. It makes the last year so much better, and it can make the next coming year even better still. All right, advertisement over. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Satisfactory, where I am staring over pristine landscape that I'm about to cover with a bunch of nuclear reactors and all its support equipment. That's right. It's time to go nuclear. That means we are going to be building the nuclear complex over this landscape. So last time we basically were just finishing off the last of our phase 4 stuff, so you can see up in the top right hand corner there. Let me bring up my little pointer here, and then we can go like that, and then I can, yeah, or I don't know. Anyway, we started our phase 5 stuff. We have the matter conversion queued up in the research, and we actually can pretty much unlock that now. I probably have everything I'm going to need. If we look at the old dimensional depot, like if I go with my pressure frames here, or whatever they are called, frames, yeah, fuse module. Pardon me. My fuse modular frames, they are uploading to dimensional depot, and all the other ones like the radio control units. So radio control units, so they're uploading to dimensional depot. So I pretty much got all of this stuff ready to go to drop in there. If I sort it out there, you can see there's all the cooling units, which I've pulled off of the same thing. So if we go radio control unit and we go to, what are those, cooling systems, you can see that they're uploading, so we can fill these guys in pretty dang quick here, and we can get whatever the matter conversion is. I have no idea. Again, never looked at that stuff, never seen that stuff before, and I have intentionally been avoiding anything that might even come close to being a spoiler. So sorry Kibitz, and sorry Total Eclipse that I haven't been watching, not because your content is no good. It's actually some of the best content for this game out there, and that's the problem. You have really good content. It would have told me everything and spoiled all of the surprises that are coming for me. Once I get through the phase 5, of course, I can start watching your videos again, so I can get jealous of your builds and your factories and all that fun stuff, but I just have to accept we have different styles. So what is the plan today? The plan today is to get kind of working towards setting up the nuclear complex. It's probably going to take a while to get it all said and done. So I think the first thing I'm going to be doing today is basically setting our stations up, setting an area aside for our stations, and then we'll, crunch some numbers and see where we are. Now, one of the things when it comes to going nuclear, very much like aluminum, it's a pain in the ass system. It is multi-layered. It has water recycling in it. It's just a real bitch of a system, which is why I have a nuclear, like I did with the aluminum. There should be a nuclear set of recipes, and this is part of that. It looks like I'm gonna actually have to import them in still, so may have to take a moment to move those over to our blueprints. Totally forgot that I hadn't done that yet. I've only moved over some of them because I didn't have all the recipes, so I didn't move them. So yeah, I've got some blueprints I'm going to move in. It's probably going to take me the better part of a while to get my stations lined up. We'll check some of the numbers and figure out how many stations I'm going to need. I'm going to need at least one for the uranium. I'm going to need one for aluminum, I think. I'm going to need one for water. Copper, iron, I might pull in locally because there are a bunch of normal nodes. There's not really any pure nodes here. If we have a look at our map, we need to set up a radar tower somewhere nearby. Yeah, in fact, that should be while I'm talking here. Let's set up a radar tower. Because, you know, I can absolutely do two things at the same time. No, totally. So, yeah. Totally already forgotten what I was talking about. Yeah, iron nodes. Yeah, that's it. Jeez Louise. So there are a bunch of iron nodes around here, but not really any pure iron nodes, and that is something I'm going to have to spread more out. I do have lots of nodes, kind of in the copper, quartz, deuterium. We'll call it Ore Island. There's lots of stuff there for it. Lots of iron there as well, so you know we could bring it in from there, or we could get it from close by. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that. Jeez Louise, it is impossible to do two things at the same time. Talk and look for something. The curse of the streamer. All right, I'm gonna put one of these guys right there. Let's grab a ladder down to the ground. Grab the pillar here, make sure everything's always attached to the ground, and go zoop. Because I'm going to put a radar tower right here. So we're going to need organization, radar tower, the power connection is on the back. So I'm going to rotate the ladder so it faces the ladder like that. Yeah, we'll go like that, and that way we can grab our power line. I'm gonna come over to here. Actually, you know what I might do here? Yeah, let me do this. Let me go grab. Not that one. Let me go grab the 45, there we go. It's mostly because it's getting dark now. We're gonna have to take it off of blueprint snap. We're gonna put you in the corner. I'm about to put baby in the corner. Go like that. Well, that's facing the wrong way. There we go. And put that one there. And then we can connect these lines up. And I'm gonna connect across the top here if I can. Ooh. That might be okay. Let me just grab a quick train here. If not, yeah, see, clear. As long as the train clears the wire, I'm okay with it. If not, I would have just strung it underneath. All right, let's get this radar tower hooked up. There we go. And now we can go. Oh, actually, I love these vantage points. So one of the things I noticed that is a little bit different than it has been in the past is that your hover pack will actually take you up to the top platform now. Used to only get you this high, which was really annoying. But they actually have it go all the way up now. Now, the only problem with where I put it is that I'm on the wrong side of it, but, you know, it is what it is. God, that's pretty. All right, now that we got that up there, let's get our ores visible. Why are you not? Oh, it hasn't done its first scan yet, right? No power. What do you mean no power? Hold on. Oh, it's because I don't have power. Oops. That's my bad. Okay, let's do this. Turn on my flashlight so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I'm gonna go like that. And then we can stretch this down to there and still have no power. Why have I got no power? What's going on with my power? Have you got power? Yeah, you got power. So why does something down here not have power? You can see it's red there. Oh, I guess that's because I don't like that. Oh, it didn't connect. That's why. All right. Well, that's a simple fix. Sometimes the aim on this game does not work well with me. There we go. So now we can go up to the top. Up we go into the wild beyond it. Not so blue with all the purple, reds and greens in the sky tonight, because Aurora Borealis flows. What the hell was that? Okay, so looking across the landscape here, now that I hit the M. Oh, look at all the good stuff. So yeah, lots of local iron, but the majority of it is going to be normal. Or if not normal, certainly half, I think, are going to be impure. Yeah, impure. These are 3 good, solid normals here. Typically, this is kind of where everyone starts. It's where I did my first build. It's, you know, back, oh god, 8 years ago when 1.1 or 1.3 or some, or sorry, 0.3 or 0.1 or 0.13 or way back in the day, this was the kind of #1 starting spot. Because it had the copper nearby, it has these 2 limestonies right here, especially the fact that they are kind of crap. But yeah, it is a very grindy start. It's balanced for low production. You know, these guys will produce pretty much what 1 constructor at the very start can produce, or maybe even 2. So yeah. All right, what are we doing? We are looking at ground for some reason, trying to figure out where we want to start. I think, yeah, we're gonna do is we're gonna grab. Whee! Let's grab a roundabout, and let's get a line strung in. So I'm pretty much just gonna go straight that way for the construction line, and that gives me more opportunities to kind of add stations as need be. I'm probably going to drop the stations right in the center, and I'm thinking maybe then spreading out the complex around it. Now, either as individual reactor pods, and I'll go into that when I get the blueprint up and running, because, you know, the way the numbers are balanced out and stuff like that when I originally designed the blueprint way back in version 0.8. Or I could do, like, you know, all our EM rods and all our whatevers, and then all the reactors, and then all the, so, like, you know, either breaking it down into its constituent component pods or into complete kind of reactor system pods. And I am leaning to the latter of just, you know, uranium comes out, power goes in, power comes out. And then the next group over, uranium goes in, power comes out. I mean, very simplified, but basically that. All right, again, I'm blabbing away, not doing anything, and considering that we're, what, 15 minutes into the stream and I haven't done a damn thing yet. What are we in? 17 minutes, 19 seconds. Cool. Roundabout cross. All right. So we're gonna go grab that. We're gonna go to snappies, and we're gonna hit hold. That's gonna put it at the wrong height, I think. Or is it at the correct height? Nope, that is at the wrong height, so I'm gonna come up by 1. The deck of this should line up with the deck that the rails are sitting on, because, you know, rails are sitting on it. All right, distance-wise, we are going to go... Now, each of these is 8 nudges. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go 16 nudges. So, plus whatever's here. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm gonna extend these each out by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that should give me the correct distance. Essentially, it should be, oh, I didn't hit the button. It should be 3 over that. So honestly, what I can be probably easier to do is just do that. Because I already got rid of the stupid rail, gotta remember to actually, you know, put the thing in place. Again, we're gonna go nudgy, and we're gonna drop it down. Oh, having the vertical nudge was such a game changer. We're coming in a little bit, and over a little bit. Now remember, I don't want to line it up like that because that's one block too low. I want to come up by that 1 meter there so that the rail deck is even with the rail deck. Okay. And there. Now we're actually going to hit the damn button to put it into place. I can dump underneath or go underneath here, grab those things. We're going to grab these guys, and then we can grab our asphalt and try to get this guy to line up. It, of course, doesn't. There we go. Doesn't need to be super wide turn here. I can get away with one. It really is just one branch coming off here. I could even take out everything that's pointing at that because any train that comes out of here is going straight into the wall. Come on, back up. Get up there. Need to get power across the way. I'm gonna ignore that little bit here. We're gonna go up like that just so I don't keep falling out of the sky. Let's get rid of this altogether because none of this is going to be in any way, shape, or form useful to us. We can lose that. We can lose that. We can lose that. And then the underneath. And there we go. So nice and cleaned up. Let's finish getting these platforms rolled around. Hello, you. And place in. Get rid of you. And like that. Still don't see power come over here. Why? Why are you depowered? Who hurt you? Where did your electricity go, man? No, seriously. I must have deleted the primary pole? Oh, anyway. We'll fix that. Okay. Let's get some tracks in. Again, guys at Coffee Stain, thank you for fixing how we lay tracks down. Tracks so much better. And I always like putting it on track, but yeah, this is so much easier. No longer having to put little anchor segments in here. You can just start and get straight into a curve. Yeah. This game just is getting better, keeps getting better and better. And you want to know why this game keeps getting better and better? Because the developers listen to their clients, aka the people who play the game. Far too many damn hours. All right, there we go, like that, and then we can go into there. The reason I removed that segment is because it was getting just, it's never a perfect alignment. It was just slightly getting out of whack. You know, the lines weren't perfectly matching up, and that must be, we cannot have imperfect lines. Okay, let's get our branch off here. That sounded dirty. You know, to a juvenile mind, I suppose. Let's get our track connected through there. There we go. And our track now will go. Of course, we have 0 signals going on at the moment, so we're going to need to go grab some pass signals and position it. Now, I don't know if it's a bug or anything, but all the some of the trouble I've been having with the errors on the signals and stuff. Watched a video that's kind of recommend pulling it away, so not having your pass switches right on the junction there, but literally just before, so keeping them all on their own. So I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to switch over to a block signal, which is going to go, if I can get it off the side here. Come on, let go. Okay, we'll do that. And we're going to flip you to the other side. So again, I'm keeping just off the connection, and there we go. We don't have any problems. The pass signal will still know where it's going. It might be a little bit weird here as I go that way because it's going to need to be a path into a path, and I don't think they like that, but it is what it is. So I just want to establish the direction of the line so I can close this off, and then we're going to head back to the hub and make sure that we fill this stuff in, and then I'm going to do a little sneaky sneak, I'll be right back kind of thing, where I can get my blueprints loaded up, and we can actually get our tracks put into the ground. All right. Looks like we're getting a half alignment. Are we actually at proper alignment here? Nope, we're at proper alignment. That's good. Okay, let's back up. And we'll bring that right to there. Just like that. I can now get rid of these three guys. They've done their 2D. He said 2D. And then we can snap into there. And you don't want to snap. That's fine, because I can come from this side, flip the track around, and oops, it didn't like that. That was too sharp. Right from here. Come on, stay going the right way. Thank you. And then we can go into, no, that's still not. I want to get it as tight as possible. So, okay, so that is too tight. So it is going to have to be there. And that's perfect. All right. Again, we need to provide some switching. So we'll get our pass signal, try to get our, I mean, there's nothing saying I can't put the pass signal there and the block signal here, to be honest. Let's do that. I'm not fighting it. So I'm going to replace this guy. I'm going to replace this guy. I am going to have to take the long way home. That needs to be a path. No, that has to be a block. That's a incoming line, so this gets to be a block. Block signal. Just like this one gets to be a block signal, but this one gets to be the pass signal. Now you need to separate here, so we're going to grab a block. And put a block there. This is what I'm, and then we're gonna need to put something right here. Let's see if a path will work. Yeah, see, a path's not working, but a block signal might. All right. We were having functionality. We no longer have functionality. Why do we no longer have functionality? That's fine that way. That is a bad one right there. Okay. So it likes this. Why does it not like anything else? I swear to God, every time I touch the signals, they're just getting worse and more. Yeah, see, why? That shouldn't be happening. At all. I should not have to spam signals like this. Yeah, and that should be split. Okay, so this is definitely getting to be problematic here. Let's disconnect that. Let's disconnect that. No, I can't be anywhere else, but like I can't go any tighter here, can I? No, I can't. Oh, you're killing me here, guys. Absolutely killing me here. All right, can I make this any tighter? Let's get closer. You know, I was just every freaking time I just start off by singing the praise for this game, something comes up that just absolutely changes that. Stupid signals. What would happen if I just changed you to a block signal? Yeah, it's purely the pathing. I don't know what the hell is going on with the pathing here. Oh, because you don't need to be a path. You actually do need to be a block signal. Yeah, wait a minute. You actually need to be a block signal. No, because you should be the path for right here. Is it because there's a line? It's the 4. It's the 4 that's doing it, isn't it? What happens if I put you there? And so we have solid green coming through here. For whatever reason, it's not registering that this is a separate section. Rid of this one. Oh, I swear signaling is just getting... Yeah, it's gonna have to be a block signal. Which really did nothing. Why? 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 Really not the best way to do this, but only one person in the roundabout at a time. That's just the way it's gonna have to be. Yeah, it just has to be all this one section, one big roundabout. All right, so that direction, no, there's gonna be a cliff there. That direction, uranium is going to come in through, because I'm pretty thinking I'm going to grab the uranium from underneath, just because it's a pretty cave to build in, and then we can continue on from here. All right, let's drop that down there, and let's get that off our HUD. So we need to do a little bit of finishing here, so we'll go like that, and yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do here is just fly to the track and put in my signals, and I think pretty much every second tower or supports should be fine. So that's going to go that way. It'll be a long flight back. It's apparent I had to say that like Forrest Gump. There we go, and there we go. Interesting story. That's the way the kid who played young Forrest actually talked. So Steven Spielberg apparently told Tom Hanks to go spend some time with the younger version of Forrest, just so that they're kind of on the same page in speaking habits and stuff like that. And Tom just basically said, listen to this kid talk, that's Forrest Gump. I mean, nothing against the kid. Kid's a bright kid. He's, a very successful adult in whatever career he's decided, but he just had that thick kind of accent. So yeah, that is actually kind of how that kid spoke. That was his genuine accent. All right, and then we're gonna go like that, and then we're gonna go like that. And so the reason you put your block signals in on a regular basis is that way, if you have multiple trains sharing this line, If I didn't have a block signal between, you know, like that roundabout and the back roundabout, that means one train. And it takes a minute or, you know, 30 seconds. That means all traffic will hold there until everything has been cleared through that other one. So you definitely want to have your block signals at a pretty regular basis. I mean, I could put them on literally every tower, and that would make it even tighter groupings. That gets a little ridiculous because, you know, they shouldn't really actually have trains running that close to each other, just in case. But if you are trying to space out, like you got, you know, two trains coming from the same station, going to the same station, it can't hurt. You can use block signals and whatnot to kind of control that flow of traffic. All right, I'm gonna actually put a block signal there. Put a block signal there because that's gonna then leave that working fine. Yeah, the little roundabouts just don't like having your back. Yeah, okay, so gotta remember, the really tight ones, only block signals. If I want to use path signals, I have to go out one more block, give it a little bit more radius. That's actually works out to be 2 blocks worth of radius, of course, because there's one on each side, which means I don't have 4 track segments coming in. I've only got 3 here, and that just makes the paths happier. They just don't like it when things are that tight. And a lot of it sometimes has to even do with the distance between tracks and from one track to the next track. And yeah, it's a pretty sensitive system. All right. And continuing in, heading back to Zahab. And then we're going to make the whole freaking journey again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's awkward. Ha 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 ha. Well, you know, it's live. When the fact is, I just noticed that literally the screen has been blank. Boy. Oops. That's not good, man. I done effed up real bad. Oh, boy. Well, good thing I get to go back there and show you what I've been doing and talking about signals and yeah, sorry about that guy though. If you're still there, you know, maybe you skipped ahead a little bit and realized, you know, looking for the time when I finally clued in that I had the wrong screen stuff set up. OBS, you're just freaking doing exactly what you say you're gonna do. So that was all about because the way OBS gets set up is that you can capture just a, you know, game screen. So when I hit the Windows button right now, it doesn't show up on your feedback. Or I can have it show the display. And I've been kind of switching between games like Space Engineers, Left 4 Dead, as well as Satisfactory. So I have different ways of recording and capturing that screen. Like, for example, I can take the Satisfactory out. What you're now going to see is a clipped version of that, but I can expand it out. Right, yeah, we can go like that, and then I can expand it so I can control the actual screen. You know, I got lots of control as long as I have the various things turned on. The reason I don't use display capture is because if I hit the Windows button, of course, you see the windows. You can, you know, I'm hiding the toolbar right now, but no, you know. I'm gonna just go away for a minute and come back and hopefully have everything working properly. I'll be right back. Please don't run away. Please don't leave. I'll be right back. And we are back. Oh my goodness, my guys, I am so sorry for that. That is just completely buggered up this morning. So normally, you know, I go through a little bit of a checklist and make sure this is working and make sure that's working because, you know, I've done stupid things like this in the past. And then you get comfortable. You get to do your check just once, just the one time. And yeah, the whole thing comes crashing down. You know, things like making sure you have your nuclear plants already set up and all that fun stuff. Hey, I know what I can do with the space now. Actually, I can put in the Mark 1 blueprinter here because I moved the space elevator over there. Cool. Okay, so I've gone and hopefully grabbed some of the blueprints, but I think I'm gonna have to do some massaging. For whatever reason. What am I doing in here? I don't want to be in here. Yeah, completely thrown off now, man. Yep, completely thrown off. It's going to be a stream that's not... Yeah, anyway. Okay, so let's get all these guys. I want to get these out of here. Let's get these out of here. I need to grab some more from inventory. Which means I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom here. Oop. And let's grab... I guess I didn't really need to grab that many of them, but that's okay. And no... Please, ma'am. And there we go. I have no idea what I'm actually doing here. This is converters, fixed ingots, diamonds, time crystals, chemical sculptor, and all the Samor stuff that I already have. Which is the basis for, looks like, a bunch of other stuff. So we're gonna get this launched out. I'm not gonna grab another one yet.
Milestone reached. The converter uses strange alien matter, abbreviated to SAM, to break down and transform materials at their most fundamental levels. I am sure even you can appreciate the power to manipulate atomic bonds. Most importantly, you are now able to locally create fixite, a highly adaptable synthetic metal, ideal for any kind of construction. It is everything we need to save the day, and perhaps its admirable qualities can inspire you.
Okay, so that's unlocked. Ironically, not really gonna do anything with it yet. It is just nice looking up at the station. Because I want to get my nuclear power up and running first. Okay, so let's go and actually have a look at these blueprints now that I've dug it up. So I have a uranium fuel rod. It produces 0.4. What do I need? I need 18 limestone, sulfur EM rods, and uranium rock quartz. So it's pretty much a self-contained setup here. And I think, yeah, everything in here is wired up and ready to go. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So there's uranium goes in, deuterium goes in. So if they're labels, it means it's ready to go. There's silica, there's EM rods, limestone, and steel pipe. All right, cool. Okay, so there's that blueprint. It's, you know, I have to obviously put walls and stuff up. Load blueprint. We have, I don't care about the heat, that's not really. So we got uranium rod. What about this one? Uranium ore 40, limestone ore 54, sulfur 24, chrome stage 1, EM rod, steel pipe. Yeah, so I got 2 of those. Then we need the plutonium system. Because the plutonium means that I can sink everything. So all of that's nicely locked up in this factory stack. Yep, that makes my plutoniums. I didn't label anything, but those come into there. The EM rods, electromagnetic rods, I've already gone over here. So if we look in our construction lines, I have my EM rod basic, my alt EM rods, so I've got all the, there's the nuclear EM rods. That one's actually designed to work specifically with the nuclear one, so that's the one I can use, and then I just need to put in some steel pipe. So it's what, we talking 1 building, 2 buildings, 3 buildings, plus the steel pipe, 4 buildings, 0.4 nuclear fuel rods, because it's going to be the nuclear fuel rods that go into the reactors. Then I'm going to take the nuclear waste out. Let me go find the nuclear power plant. Can I have a place where I can put you temporarily? You're not going to get in the way with anybody? Yeah, let's just throw you over there for a quick sec. Yeah, of course it does. You know what would be really awesome? Is if you guys put the actual amount that you want in here somewhere. I don't care that it's no fuel. I don't care that it's like, tell me how much you want. Same thing here. Tell me how much freaking water you want. Yeah, I know this one says 50 meters per second. Cubed, 50 cubic meters. But it doesn't help me with the fuel rods. So we're going to have to go Satisfactory. I mean, Google. Nuclear fuel rates. Oh, sweet Jesus. Why is there so much garbage on Google sometimes? Like, why in the Google search? Here, let me bring this display capture up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And move that up to there. There we go. So just, checking Google here in the Google AI. Uranium fuel rods 50.4. Uh-huh. So I can have how many? 252 nuclear plants? Like, really? Why? I don't give a shit. I want to know what the per unit rate is. And yeah, I can do math here. But God, why is Google such trash? Oh, I know exactly why Google's such trash. Is because the same reason why every other freaking website on the internet now is complete and utter trash. Because everyone wants to use AI because it's too much hassle now to pay artists to do the job. So, let's get AI and get shit products because then it goes more into some corporate asshole's pocket. Yeah, pure and simple. Eat the rich. Anyway. Yeah, I just have to. Why do I bother with Google? Like, seriously. I know I've got it open here somewhere. There we go. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go to something like Satisfactory Tools, which should give me the information a little bit better. No, I want buildings, power. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So I want either 0.2 uranium fuel rods or 0.1 plutonium fuel rods. Do the plutonium fuel rods no longer produce nuclear waste? Could it be? Plutonium fuel rods still need nuclear waste to be made? No. Oh my. Oh, this is Really? Huh. This is new information. This changes pretty much everything. And I mean everything. Power. What am I doing? 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 I'm doing this. No, I'm doing yeah, doing that. No. I want to produce plutonium fuel rods. Oh, and codex, that's what I want. Plutonium fuel rod. I don't want that. I want... Really should have done this during the week, but it was kind of a busy week. So I'm trying to get a whole bunch in case plutonium cell. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of my new Space Engineers Quest for Keys episodes recorded. Just because between October and December, I'm really not going to have a lot of time, and I'm committed to 3 videos a week for some odd reason. So I really... Plutonium pellet? There we go. So plutonium pellets still do need uranium waste. So that's good. Needs non-fissile, so that hasn't changed. Oh my goodness. So what do I want to do? Let's go to a nuke. Nuclear power reaction 60. What are you producing? Shoot. Okay, so again, let's looking at the plutonium. So I'm looking at Satisfactory Tools here, their website. Doesn't have waste there, but I need waste to make that, which means I'm still going to have to go through nuclear power plant. 10 per minute. Yeah, so again, I think I've got everything. I'm going to let's do some actual Satisfactory modeler work here now. Before we go any further, yeah, this is kind of that point in time. So we're going to go here, we're going to go into here, and we're going to launch this. Then we're going to grab this guy here, and we're going to check a production line. So I'm going to go nuclear. Let's just make sure we're all seeing the same thing here. Yep, okay, we are. Nuke. Uranium nuclear power plant. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's good. Gives me based on that. Okay, so if I'm going to say 2, that's 0.4. So 2 of these. Then goes into nothing ever with a crystal oscillator. So 1 of those. Encased uranium cell. What do we got? Uranium, limestone, deuterium. We're going to go up to there. So nice and easy. This is why it's all contained within that one. Then we have these guys here, encased industrial beam, but I'm just throwing in concrete and steel pipe, which means I need to cut this one. Encased industrial pipe. There we go. That's why it needs the steel pipe. And then we have the separate line, which is the alternate recipe, I think is this one I'm using. So it's 2 per minute. Yeah. and then whatever water, you know, we need. So 4 water extractors per 2. So it's 2 water extractors per one of these. So it's not really a super complex setting. Yeah, okay, so this is all going to work. So I just need to make sure that I'm getting the encased beams and I'm getting everything else. Okay. Oh. An hour in, guys, and we're just starting to get our shit figured out. I thought all week, too. I really should have a look in the game, but then I get into the game and I go, no, I don't think I need to do anything in here. And then, of course, I need to get rid of... Oh. Okay, so plutonium fuel rod. It requires nitric acid, silica, some uranium waste, heat sinks. That's why I need heat sinks, EM rods, and steel. All right. One of the things I'm not going to do is I'm definitely not turning the power on until I have it all figured out. That's the last thing, honestly, is to bring nuclear power in. All right. Anything else I need to do here, or I just need to go get the stations in and then start? At least I can figure out what it is that I need over the next little bit. I'm going to go this way. Past the original power plant, and then we can continue up the line. So I'm going to head up to the aluminum district, as it may be. Yep, we're already turning left. That's where I want to go. So we're going to whoop off to this direction. Fire freighter re-entry. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. Now, what do I got going on over here? Was this actual steel production or just coal extraction? Hey, this was coal extraction. There's a lovely SAM node there. I think that was a pure one too, wasn't it? Is that a pure one? No, impure. Of course it's impure. I don't think there is an impure. Yeah, this is just purely coal extraction. Okay. So when we make steel, we know we can get coal from here. There's multiple coal nodes that I haven't tapped yet. Well, you're certainly getting a live video experience today, aren't you? No plan, wandering around, completely unsmooth and unrehearsed and unprepared. It's all fine. Yeah, one of these days I do need to close the walls up there. All right. I think we are going to flip this guy out, and we are going to zoom. It's going to jetpack our way across here. I'm pretty sure I can make that plateau. Bumping the fuel. Especially if I take a little running boost from right here. Okay, no, I won't be. I'm just going to keep moving. Thank you. I'm going to touch down right here. I don't think I have any filters for nuclear yet or anymore. I'll have to double check my filters. Hi, anyone up here? Besides him? Ow. Ow. I am taking damage from the nuclear radiation. I'm apparently out of filters, so I will have to go get myself some more filters, but you know what? We can buy those, and so I'm going to buy those. I should be coming out over my top of my tracks pretty quick there, and yeah, there you can see it over there. All right, let's touch down again. Let's get a slide so we can get some velocity, and let's bip over. Now, of course, saying that there was coal back there, there's also coal here, and quite a bit of it too, actually. So if you do start in the plains and you're ready to move to coal, this is the place you want to do it. Let me just touch down here safely. Anyone around me? Anyone gonna eat my face? Nope. Famous last words. So there are coal nodes down there. If we bring up our map, you can see we've got a normal, a normal, a normal, and a normal. So yeah, there are a bunch of normals, but you know, that's what this area is. So if we, you know, clear a little brush, maybe use a little bit more explosive, and whoop. And then we go into our scanner. So yeah, 4 nodes. Looks like they moved them a little bit. Yeah, I thought they were close to the water's edge. But good water supply, 4 coal nodes, so good place to set up your first coal power plant. Just so you know. That was a lousy takeoff. There we go. Okay. So I want to keep get my ass over to here. And one thing I do know, at least information I get from the blueprint, is how many stations and stuff I'm going to need. And it's pretty much everything. So I'm going to need to bring quartz in for silica. I'm going to need to bring steel in. So coal and iron. Hey, track, remember me? The idiot that, oh yeah, I guess you guys haven't seen what I was doing here. So let's, so we get our track coming into the end here. So this is where we were last week. I'm going to fall. Okay, let's see how fast I can do a pack change. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. And right. So yeah, last week we brought the track in. So far I've put in 1 roundabout, screwed around with the signals for a little bit until, you know, gave up on them. I got them working. It's just not necessarily the best way, and established that we are going to spread our nuclear power over there. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to bring the tracks off and just kind of move them, head them that way, maybe dropping down a little bit. And I'm thinking, so I'm going to be bringing the uranium from this direction because there's the underground that's over there. And if we run around to the other side, so if we kind of look where that big ass waterfall is, there's a cave that goes up in behind. We can bring uranium in from there. And I think that's probably going to be the easiest. So the track will extend off there, kind of wind its way through and eventually end up over there. Of course, we're going to be bringing materials in from this direction here. There's gonna actually need to be a lot of track laid, I think, because I kind of need to get past all of that. So right now this is a single line that's coming in, and it's coming in from a rather long roundabout route from over here, right? So, you know, if I need something from over here, like copper, quartz, what have you, you know, the train's got to go all the way around before it gets there. I'm going to need to put in a bypass here. I'm going to try to see if I can get that done between weeks. And of course, this is where we're going to be pulling our uranium from. So if we, there's a bit of a cave network that goes up into this one here. So it's really not that far. It's kind of the closest one. So we'll pull the uranium in from here. So I'm going to need a little bit of a segment of track. That's going to go through this way, across here. That'll join up from up there. Then we'll go probably going to be, we might have to keep it nice and elevated, so a big ass bridge. I haven't had an opportunity to build a big ass bridge yet. I think this is a good opportunity to build that big ass bridge. So I'm going to build a big ass bridge somewhere around here, just because it's not really great terrain. And then I can work my tracks probably up through here. Or maybe, yes, I don't really have the full map explored here yet. I need to get a radar tower over here somewhere. Either that, or I'm going to come through here. There are routes through that I can take. And I think, yeah, this is probably the best one. Basically, yeah, so I got track going to here. We cut through here. We join up with the uranium here, and then we pop down to here. Yeah, that's the route. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. In fact, you know what? I am completely discombobulated by everything else. I think I'm going to just do the chill thing and start bringing my track over. The chill thing, bringing track over, he says. Okay, so let's get our jetpack on. Give ourselves a bit of a running start, and let's go survey the route. So we're gonna go this way. I'm gonna actually work my way backward. Because, you know, this here, really easy traffic, or really easy use, no problems, no muss, no fuss. Everything flows quite well. Those are a couple of impures. Got still lots on the juice meter there. Oh, hey, Mr. Mercer Sphere. That's you. I had sphere. Anything gonna eat my face? No. Okay. I miss the weird, strange lady. Ada's friend. Okay, this is where things get a little bit more gnarly coming through here. Oh, look, another Mercer Sphere. Can I has gun? Gun, please. Ooh. Got him in the ass and he died. Yeah, things are gonna get gnarly coming through here.
Look through the window and witness a threat.
Hey, speaking of crazy lady. So we're gonna bring the track through here. That's gonna give us off to this side here. I'm gonna try and make it over to here. And I'll just grab a slug here. Not that I need them, but there we go. Okay, so cave entrance, I believe, is just over here somewhere. So yeah, we're gonna come through here. I think we're gonna stay pretty high up, like at whatever ground level we come out of there at. Like I say, things can get kind of gnarly through here. We'll come in through... Oh, there goes the frame rate. I swear to God, this game is trolling me today. Oh. Between me and again, ADHD Satisfactory. I absolutely never think to check what's killing my frame rate between episodes. It's only when I'm really in the game that I notice it, and usually it's when I'm streaming. Oh, I didn't mean to exit the full game. Sorry, give me half a sec here. That was not meant to happen the full way. I just, yeah. Yeah. It's just going to be one of those days, guys. It really is. I'm talking now just because, you know, you're looking at a blank screen. I want to make sure you don't think that the stream ended somehow without me doing anything else. So I'm going to keep yammering away here up until the game starts again. Thank you. Oh my goodness, this is driving me nuts. Yeah, the game is slowly starting here. Can we skip this part, please? Yeah. Let me get to the game. Get to the game. Oh, hey there, Bottom. I just noticed you're here. Wow. Love how every YouTube short has this crappy AI music attached. Oh, don't even get me started on AI, man. Not get me started on AI. Yeah. But it's a tool for artists. No, it's not. And it is completely different than Photoshop. It is a shortcut for lazy people. No, I'm sorry. We're not ready for AI, not until we have some major changes in how art and commercial art is utilized. Right now, the wrong people are making decisions and the artists are suffering. One of the big reasons why I'm making a hell of a lot more YouTube videos now and have the time to do it is because my industry is being attacked directly by AI. And, you know, having to listen to people go, oh, the 3D was shit and this and that, and then, you know, because what I do is I teach, you know, 3D animation and 3D modeling, 3D texturing, you know, all the things that make all your superheroes and science fiction movies and all of that stuff possible. Literally the backbone and literally the most abused part of the industry. And then, of course, along comes AI and makes absolute shit. But, of course, people think, oh, it looked great. Yeah, anyway. Not really articulating my thoughts on it just because of the blind fury that sticks out. Hey, look, there's a summer sloop. How long you been here, buddy? I totally missed your early that you showed up there. I mean, I had been looking for you. I'm starting to worry a little, to be honest. Okay, so we're gonna come through here. Why are we coming through here? Because it's cool. Passing through some of the natural features. And I am gonna have to stay relatively high. The reason I have to stay high is this section over here. So there's a lovely little lake. Now, all of that's pretty gnarly terrain. Going around here is not really a great option. So I kind of do have to go that direction for the most efficient route. Because it's really gross trying to work a train going through there. I'll try to avoid it if possible. However, once you get up here, it's kind of a nice little junction region. Let me get up here. There we go. Because going off in that direction heads off towards the swamps, so you can kind of cut around there. It's a relatively short trip. Down there is the Crater Lake region, which has a bunch of coal nodes. So if you're looking for some big coal production, you can set up down there, especially if you're working this side of the map. I just have to be working the north side, not the south side of the map, so that's why I've gone to where I've gotten. And then going this way, which is the direction we're going to go, we can go all the way up through here, past all this stuff here. There is actually quite a bit of stuff we can gather as we go through. Don't mind me, just passing through. Is that there's quartz nodes up here. Oh, he's going to shoot shit at my face. No, he doesn't. He's not aggroed. There's quartz nodes up here. There's, I think, nitrogen up here. There's water wells nearby. Yeah, so there's nitrogen gas just over there. That's where Mr. Bean over there is standing. There's water, pressurized water wells. So there's lots of stuff along here. So if you want to make little kind of way stations, ow, someone just shot me in my butt. It's great to go through here. And then we're right on the edge of the big forest, so the giant tree forest, whatever its proper name is, which will lead us over to the connection point. All right, I'm gonna get that pod. Ow! Where did you come from? Oh, you have a path up. Come on. Die. 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 Ow. Die. 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 Die, die, die. I'm about to die. Ooh. Spiders are attacking. Oh, it's getting nasty over there. I have to touch down. I gotta... Oh. I need to get... Ow. Well, poop. Well, poop.
Pioneer, Pioneer, Pioneer.
Okay, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go do something here, and I don't have much time to do it. I've got maybe a day. All right, so I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna go to the main menu. I could have done it from right here, so I'm not going to the main menu. I'm going to options, and what I need to do is turn this switch off, and then save the game again. I'm going to save the game. Exit the main menu. And start the game, or load back into the session. And I want to see if it's still there. And there it is. The version 1 anniversary. Not only is it the anniversary of the series, but it's the anniversary of the release of 1.0, and we get this party! Pizza party! I'm not sure what kind of freaky ass pizza they have over in yeah, that is not, ooh. Like, what is that? Is that like zucchini on pizza? I don't know, but you know what? They have their pizza. We have decorated toilets. This is kind of cool. It's going to be irritating if I spend a lot of time here. Pizza in bed. Open character customization. Okay. Is there anything I wanted to do differently with it? Oh, I kind of like the bunny ears. Let's oh, gross. Let's revert the changes. Can I revert the change? Apparently I can't revert the changes anymore. Oops. Bring saturation down. Anyway, that was a nice distraction. While I'm here, I guess I might as well grab some filters. We're gonna put a couple of stacks in there. I'm pretty sure I don't have any tickets on me. We can grab some from here. And let's get our filters. Well, that ought to last me a while.
Fix-It does not waste, and all consumable products have been designed with this core value in mind. All consumables have an infinite shelf life and achieve their full purpose when used. They can't be wasted.
Not sure what she's trying to tell me there. Does she disapprove or approve of me purchasing these things? I almost get the feeling that she disapproves, but how many do we have in here? We've got 15 in there. They just reside in there. I like to leave some tickets in the in case I need to access them remotely. You just need to set one up, put some power to it, and you're good. Okay, let's get out of here and back and start laying some track. Okay, so we're gonna head east, actually. I'm gonna make my life a little easier. So there's two basically ways that I can kind of connect through here. So one way is to cut along here, which is the shortest route from the hub, kind of cutting through here, and then, you know, working our way into this region here, which is where we're going to be working soon. Right now I'm heading down to this region here, but what I can also do is cut through here. And that is more direct because it's this area here that I'm looking to utilize from. And we can just basically scooch. If I've left myself the tracks to do it, that's the only question. Is that we can scooch through that direction that way. Or I'm going to fly along the track here. I really wish the jetpack or the hover packs went faster. I use the hypertube, but the hypertube is a connected network that goes only one way. Let me put the jetpack on. Do I have a chance of maybe moving faster? I just can't do the... There we go. We'll do the approach slide. That's the gives you the most boost in the velocity. So if I come up through here, what I can do actually, is I have a roundabout right here. Again, I'm really sorry for the boring episode here, guys. But I have a roundabout here. Again, looking at the map here. We're above that. We can cut through cliff face right there. If we kind of try to cut through here. But I already have trains over here. But there's no connection to over there. So networking wise, this is interesting. I don't want to route everything back through there and looping it to get through there. I could cut across there, but then that leaves here. I'd rather have a central line. This needs to go that way. And I think that's what I'm gonna have to do is send my... Let's send weird shift. Send the track that way to connect up with over there, and then from there as long as I didn't screw myself over and left a way for track to get through, and then from there we can head off to the south to join up with the rest of the system. I know, completely and utterly boring, and I am so very sorry for that, but now I don't know if I screwed myself here putting this in, which it almost kind of does look like I might have somewhat. Okay. Well, didn't necessarily screw myself, but didn't help myself. So that was supposed to be a line that went off in that direction to join up with over there. That is kind of what the original intent was. It since has been co-opted, and now I need to do something else with it. But I have this roundabout, which is perfectly fine, and that does point in the right direction. I just need to make sure I connect up the tracks over there. Now, these big guys here are unremovable. It is a dangerous, nasty forest we're heading into. There's going to be lots of things trying to eat my face or kill my face. Not him. But I think what I can do is wrap the track around in behind. Maybe what I'll do is put another roundabout right here. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to have to do. Of course, I've got an oil extractor in the way, so that's not going to help. Man, oh man. No, that's actually the oil extractor is perfectly fine where it is. The tracks will split from one side and the other. No, we're good. I just need to get that first station in, so we can go grab a sample of him. Let's go grab the blueprint sample of him. There we go. No. Can I have the entire blueprint? Why are you... Satisfactory, you're killing me here. One of these. We're gonna come off somewhere around here. Doesn't matter where I put this at the moment. I don't need to be standing here. Let's just get off there. Bring that down. Make sure we're all at the same track height. Come up by one, please. Are we at the right track height now? Or do I have to come up by half? Nope, that is the correct track height. That's fine. And then we can just scooch past here. I'm gonna have to make a turn almost right away, but that's okay. Actually, do I want one of these guys here? No, I don't.
Of course I don't. What I really need is one of these. Okay, let's try that again. Again, I don't care where you go, just as long as I can hit the H. Make sure you're lined up correctly at the right deck height. Yes, you are. Let's get you more centered up a little bit. I want you to go pretty much directly on the other side of that. Is that angling correct? That should be okay. Alright, we're gonna have to come out by one. I could get run over by a train. Unnerving. Okay, why are you doing this to me today? And by this, I mean, and you, I am of course talking to my own brain. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry, I just need to looking for something here on one of my other multiple open tabs. There we go. Okay. Yeah, they. Okay, so foundation, roundabout, stuff, chaos, questions of sanity, you know, all the usual things. Get some power strung across here. actually, nice thing is I don't really have to worry about tracks crossing. We're gonna have to go to there. Like that. Let's grab our track. And come around. And so a little bit of reason why I just continually keep using roundabouts is that they're simple, easy, quick, and more importantly, they're the more, well, they're not really necessarily the most reliable, but they're quick and easy. One of the things I don't like, and I don't do with my tracks, so if I do, just quick little sample, and so I got, let's say, 2 parallel tracks here, ignore the fact that they're in the water. Quite often what you'll see is people will do like they'll just cross their tracks, in some manner. So, they'll have like their junctions doing this kind of stuff. Let's see if I can't pull this off. Like there we go. So what you'll often see is you'll see people that, this is a perfectly good junction. Train comes through there, they go off that way. Train wants to go this way, so this is an exiting train. It can go that way, or it can cross and go that way. But these can get really kind of lots of crossovers, and it's literally how real trains do very complex interchanges, is that the tracks cross. But they have special type intersection tracks where the wheels can move through, so there's little gaps and stuff like that. We don't have that. It just is literally forced clipping. This is the least for me, without having to put in overpasses and clover leaves, which I've done lots of, and they're not easy to do. They're complicated. Roundabouts are just quick and simple, and no muss, no fuss. So I definitely prefer them over that. Sorry, got a little bit of hiccuping going there. Okay, so I'm going to start extending my track out. I should probably actually use one of these, and let's keep it at about the right height here. So we're going to use this as kind of a snapping platform. And then we're going to shove this way out of the way. I'm going to come up by half. There we go. We're at the deck height now. Oh, look at that. Connected. Cool. Ooh, let's actually let that connection sit, because that'll help me get spacing and positioning a little bit. We'll come over to there. And let's aim you. Oh man, let's not. Let's do this. Lift you up. And something like that should be fine. Okay. Let's get track connected here. So we're going to come off of here, and we're going to go that way. That avoids the station there. This is the more problematic of the two. In fact, this is the complete and utter bollocksing of the two. Okay, all of this has got to go. So we're just going to delete all of this. It never happened. Nothing was ever here. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, what's that over there? Okay, because I have to bring a track this way, so I have to line up on that. So we're going to go to there. We're going to get our rail array cross. We're going to line you up right here. We're going to raise you up. We're going to get you at the correct deck height. It should be right there. Yes, that is correctly right there. And there we go. That should work now for me getting the track screwed. Especially, oh, don't go away. Especially if I don't quite do things in my more conventional way. Is this still gonna work? Oh, it's right here. I have to make a really sharp corner, which I almost can get away with. Is not all lost. I come down to here. Get these guys out of here. Get you out of here. I might be able to make this work. Not everything has to be super pretty. It just has to sometimes work. And honestly, this kind of stuff, to me, makes things look a little bit more interesting. As long as it's not just done haphazardly, like let's game it out and spaghettified tracks and stuff like that. As long as I find, at least again, purely my opinion on my own work, is I find that if there's a little bit of this kind of chaos going on, it actually makes things feel a little bit more natural, because that is the world we live in. We don't live in a perfect world. It's kind of where the art of greebling comes from, right? It's big difference between if you're ever discussing the kind of the art styling of the ships in Star Trek and Star Wars. Star Wars wears its guts on the outside, which is just basically an organized chaos. Building the models, the model makers literally just found, any kind, hundreds of model kits. Sorry, that didn't go to the right place. And they would just find interesting pieces and then find an interesting place to put it on the model. Like, for example, the Millennium Falcon is full of tank decks, engine decks, and the sidewalls right by the cockpit on the side of the mandible. That's the transfer case from a tank. So, ow. So yeah, it is just about, it's an almost organized chaos. Star Trek, of course, is different in that it's super clean and neat and tidy. Why are you struggling with that corner? Who are you waiting for? Are you waiting to go in there? I think I need another signal over here. Yep. I guess you're ready to go pick up some stuff too, eh? Okay, well, that should try to hopefully keep that from happening. Yeah, so when I'm getting back to what I'm doing here, so this kind of greebling here doesn't overly bother me, because as long as it in the visual design makes a little bit of sense, it's all good. Okay, so now that one can go that away just fine. I gotta remember, I am bringing another track in here, which can hook up and go that way. Okay, so that's all right. Let's grab a copy of this. Get you turning the right way. Give you a click. And point you off there. And let's get you elevated a little bit. Okay, so you're going to come from that direction. And yeah, I'm extending these tracks as far as possible. Normally I keep them nice and close, but because of the angles I'm dealing with here, I might have to. Yeah, I am going to have a much closer version, but I'm going to use one of these to do it. And let's do a blueprint snap. I'm going to get rid of that. So I can snap all of these guys, and then we can just kind of push back this way. La, 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 la. We're going to have to come down a little bit. Oh, hey, cool. It hooked up. Look at that. Oh, awesome. That's kind of nice that it did that. It's way too high for the track. It is fine. Okay, so we're going to go to there. Then we're going to push you back that way. And hopefully that's far enough back so that I can then bring you to there. Good. Okay, so that works. We're going to come off of here. Nope, we're going to come off of here. That works. And that doesn't. Not going to work. Not one bit of that is going to work. So we're going to have to come at it this differently here. None of this. Not any of this. All of you. I'm going to spend 3 hours and get nothing done. I can see that. That's the day today. It's 3 hours doing nothing. Getting nothing accomplished. Oh, I'm doing lots of stuff. Most of it's accomplishing nothing. All right. Instead, I'm going to come at it from a completely different way. We're not going to roundabout it right away because that's just not working. I'm going to try to roundabout it over there. And hopefully I have enough room in that little bit of a gap there. Bring it through. I don't know if I do or not, though. So if I have one track kind of curving into here, one track coming in through there, I can maybe squeeze it right between these trees. I really wish we could take some of these big trees down. You know, it might be, you know, if I had, even if I had to make a nuclear one, Noblex grenade, it really would be useful. So what I want to do is I want to go. At least these big guys are marked on the map here. Put the runabout right here. Pardon me. So if I put the roundabout right here, we can still cut through here. So that would be right there. No, that's not going to work. What are there big open areas? See, there's no... I don't want to have to go all the way back here. I want to be able to cut through here. That is giving me a fight because I screwed myself with this whole factory right here. There's not really any way for me to bypass easily. What if I put my roundabout? What if I put the roundabout right here? That actually, this might work. This might work. Okay, let's try this. We'll grab our cross. We'll get you lined up with the proper deck height. Which looks to be right about there. Yep. And then we're just going to infinitely zoop you this way. I think I can get away with this one. As long as, again, your height is good. Go this way a bit. Already there's a nuclear hog sitting right there. I think I can make this work. I can make this work. Grab another one of these. And I just want to make sure I'm getting the right deck height here. I got a nasty bit of a corner there, so we're going to have to come off of this one. So we also have to make sure we avoid the... and this is the challenge with this section. With this area, terrain is your greatest enemy. It's going to push you. It's going to challenge you. It's going to make sure that you're going to have no easy time working with it. It's just awkward as hell, but that's the whole freaking point of the challenge, right? Okay, so let's see. I may have to move this again. But if I can make any kind of corner from here, like that, it's gonna miss the resource or the well. That's it. That can go through there. I'm gonna have to move the block signal here, like to there. Technically, actually should have a pass signal right here. Which is good, because it's working. Then we'll put a block signal here, block signal there going in, and then we go. Okay, so now I can take this track, and it won't reach, but if I go, say, to here, right here, and again, I am more focused right now on the track and not my hypertube. Because I should have an accelerator here, but you know what? I don't yet. And that's going to go all the way down to there. Lift you up. They should all be, as long as I get you relatively flat. Like that. Okay. So now, theoretically, that should be close enough. Yes, it is. Good. Let's get rid of any and all critters. Really? Could we just die already without spitting out any more? Oh my god. Fucking stop spitting out the bugs. Die! 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 God! If I could just wave a wand and make every one of those stupid bug pods, I just despise them. They're, no, just idiotic, annoying. The way the weapon systems react to them is annoying. Everything about them just is annoying. I dislike them greatly. Really? Piss off, you stupid ass bugs. Okay, I need to get some power over there. Down to there. Let's get some power coming through here, and I guess I'll just string it the normal way. From here. up to there. Then we're gonna go from somewhere else to doing this and that and the other thing. No real way I can avoid, so I'm gonna have to use one of these things. Oh. No, not one of those things. One of the pillar? Nope. Slopes. Curve insert, that's what I'm looking for. We need to insert one of these guys, and then we can drop you down by a couple. Boot you over. That's about in line with that. So, yeah, that should be okay. And this way a touch, and then over a touch, or this way a touch, and then over a touch. I think that's probably our best choice. There we go. And then to there, and then from here, we go from here. And that's gonna miss, good. Then we can grab our microtubes, make sure they're on curve. Make sure they're on curve. Like that. No idea where I'm gonna be. Oh, yeah, it's just not even a regular. I'm just gonna fly away from here. Just flying away. You can tell my frustration level when I just go into blind killing rages. Okay, that was a little funny. He'd been dead a while. Just literally one of these guys knocked him over and just that slow roll. You dumbasses. You miserable piece of trash dumbasses. Okay, why am I not getting any power here still? Probably because I haven't connected there. I was so connected. I needed that. That was a little bit cathartic. Okay, I can bring the power up from here. Yes? Yes, can I bring the power up from here now? Thank you. So we'll bring a power pole around. Go to there, and then we can just go up to there, and there we go. Now I have power going down to the roundabout. Do I? Why don't I have power going down to the roundabout? I should have power going down to the roundabout. That's clearly no power going down to the roundabout. Why is there no power going down to the roundabout? Well, because you're not actually wired in. Are you not actually wired in? I thought I had you guys wired in. I guess we have to do that, and then, yeah, no, that, One of these things is... What's going on here? Yes, power. Yes, power. Yes, power. Are we not connected across here? No, apparently not. Apparently there is a glitch in the matrix where this is not connected to that on one side and one side only. Taking me from here to... No, that one is. I don't know why that didn't work, but you know what? It works now. Moving on. Okay. So, now I can follow through going that direction. This is going to be a very organic spreading. I can now take my train and go that way, and I think this might finally work. Yep, it's the last 2 episodes have literally been 6 hours of me running track and doing other stupid such things. Yeah, right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna get this in, and then, yeah, we are gonna make some issues. Here we go. Yeah, again, I'm gonna apologize for today's episode, guys. It's just gone completely off the rails. None of the stuff that I thought I was gonna be doing has been working out, and I got no one to blame but my own stupid ass brain. Yeah, this is super high exciting, isn't it? If you stop watching, I honestly would not be upset with you. I'd probably have stopped a long time ago. I am that self-aware. Unfortunately, this has to be done, so I'm kind of stuck finishing this part here. Because I can't move on. I thought I had a plan. That plan turned out to be utter garbage. So, yeah, that is a thing. Again, where am I going to go? You're going to go that way. You have to be right here. And I have a funny feeling that is in the wrong place, but please connect. Yes, it connected. Good. Likewise, you have to go right about here. You'll connect. Okay, good. All right, I think I'm finally getting somewhere. What is this? Like I said, every freaking decision I'm making today just is complete and utter. Like, caca. Like that? No. See, that's not working. I think I have an idea how to make this work a little bit better. Map to blueprint. A little bit of an aim issue. So we're going to go out a little bit like that. Over just a touch. Grab our track. And rest you on top like that, and then we can just go into there. You know what? We can come off of here, go to there. Don't need this. Let's, yeah, okay. I might actually have a better idea. Yeah, no, this might work a little better. Be a little bit more adaptable to my own little kind of rules here, because that is fine. Problem was this one, but if I just extend that one over, because I have nothing ever coming through here, we can, you know, like pull this all out like that, because it's only going to be a 3-way roundabout. And get rid of all these power line stuff. And we're just going to have a clear little spot right there. Okay. So that brings stuff in that way. This one will go in a different direction. Blueprint, auto snap. We'll get you to connect. Then I can drop you down by a couple. And let's shoot you off. That away. And try and get you to sneak through the trees. Bring you up a little higher. And over. Nope, we want to miss that tree, and there we go. Okay. So, I should be able to now take track to there. Track from here. Tracks are getting a little bit close right there. But I'm going to use just as a guide. Actually, let's pull this out. Let's pull that out. Let's grab some electricity so I don't fall from the sky. I'm going to need an accelerator. So we'll drop one of these guys in and just go boop, 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 boop. Right about there. Pull that out of there. I did not even check to see if I had the right height because of course I don't. So we're gonna get rid of this. Oh, I just don't know what I'm doing today. I really don't. I'm just trying to get through some basic functionality. At this point, I'm talking about just normal human functionality. I could connect right there. Okay, you know what? Let's just do an insertion right there. The track wants to seem to connect, so that's fine. We should still be able to make that corner there. I should still be able to make this corner here. Yeah, that's not in place, so I'm going to get rid of this thing now. We just want a little bit of railway to disappear. String our power wire across. I want to avoid... Oh boy. I really need to update the blueprint for this thing. Go to there, back to here. Brings it up. And then we can just hip across to there. Alright, so that's all connected. Trains can still get underneath, blah, blah, blah. That one's fine. Let's do one more of these coming into here and connect and drop and center and send on its merry little way, something like that. Grab our track, there to there, and from here, actually we'll come in from here to there. Gonna need some signaling. So I'm gonna let's see if we can get the pass signal to work back here. And we need a block signal. We're gonna need a path signal here. Let's get a block signal right there. A path signal right here. That block signal, of course, won't work because there's nothing going on. That one is working. I think I just need one more block signal. Stay right about here. Still working, still working, still working, not working, not working. Everything is exactly as it should be. And there we go. And I am going to call this surrendering for the day. We're going to go a little short today just because I apparently need to do a lot more thinking about how I'm going to get things going. But at least I have an idea now. Honestly, my biggest problem was with everything else that I've been kind of dealing with this week and just the amount of stuff I had to do this week. Completely got distracted from this, so why is my live stream feed looking blank up there? I don't know. Oh yeah, sorry, because there's like a 5-hour delay anyway. But yeah, okay, so I've got a better idea of what I want to do. I'm going to take this path, go down that way. I'm going to go that way. We are going to get the nuke over there. I'm going to run the rest of the track, try to remember to run the rest of the track between now and next week. Just so we don't have to sit through this kind of nonsense. Just so I don't have to bore the rest of you guys. Yeah, today was just not a great episode. Disjointed, not really having a strong plan of what I was doing. So I'm going to call it quits. I feel bad even saying this. If you like the video, hit the like button. You know, maybe consider subscribing. Really, the rest of the videos are better than this one. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to call it surrender here. I'm not going to beg for the usual please support the channels because I don't feel like I deserve it today. All I'm going to say here, guys, is thanks for watching. If you hung out to the end of this, I really appreciate it. I wouldn't have watched me this long. But if you did make it here, I especially want you guys to have a great day, to be safe, and to be good. Until next week, bye-bye.